right. Looks like we are good. Are we up and running? Yeah, it says we're live. Let me check in this group page. Oh, there's those ugly mugs right there. All right, guys, we are on live with the after show. We're still waiting for Johnson to file in. I'm sure we'll get him eventually on. So I could probably put just a little graphic up for a second before we start rolling. No, maybe not.
Hopefully he'll be on in a minute.
What was that?
I said hopefully he'll be on in a minute.
Yeah, he said he's going to try to get the better service. So I told him try to be on before 10. We'll see what happens. What's up, Taylor? Yeah, it's weird. Like I see her coming on my phone, but I don't see it on the screen. It's kind of crazy how they do that thing. So I brought you guys. Well, John, we carried over. He was just on the main show. If you guys did not get a chance to check it out, I brought Thomas on, and I was supposed to have Johnson coming on, but I wanted to talk some horror pit stories, kind of just like some shit that just pissed you off or whatever that happened in the pit. And we all have them. I'm just trying to think like where mine started, but my first pit experience was I mentioned on the show I saw Kiss when I was 14, and I ended up getting a few things, but I'm getting a guitar and everything else. But like everybody's pushing, I had a bruise across my freaking rib cage. I was 14 years old, and everybody's pushing me up against everything. It was just wild. So that was like my first horror pit story, but I still came back. But I got some other fun ones we'll share. So either fun ones or horror stories. What do you got, Tom? You got anything good? Any grannies?
Well, you want me to tell the story of where the silver-haired gigolo thing came from?
Yeah, we could talk about this.
So, me and Jeff Brown, Will Owen, Candace, and Lindsay were in Memphis at Minglewood Hall, and you may have been there before.
Yeah, dude. I saw church in Minglewood.
Okay, so we were there for Ashley, and anyways, we waited around all day like most people do, and we get front row, and this shorter, older woman comes up to me. She's every bit of 5 foot tall, and ask if she can stand with me. And of course, I'm gonna pick at myself with this story. So, anyways, the lady starts buying me beers, and of course, I'm not gonna turn a beer down,
Oh.
and it's loud as hell, and she keeps trying to talk to me, and I gotta lean over to talk to her, and then that's where the picture came from that Jeff and Will took, was me leaning over so I could hear. And then at some point in the night, I'm 3 sheets to the wind, and she asked me if she can be my sugar mama. And of course I go, no, I've got a girlfriend back home, which I really don't, but I didn't want a sugar mama. And those fuckers give her my number, and she's texting me at 3:00 in the morning. But that's where
shit
lower thing came from. I figured I'd tell that story here since it's a smaller crowd.
She at least text you some pictures or something, or?
No, man, she didn't even text me no pictures. That's just blue balling me.
No granny love, huh?
Yeah, no granny love. I didn't get to see no granny here.
Well, that's a good story to start off with our horror stories. So I'm sure Johnson has a lot. All right, John, you're up. Give me one that you got.
So my first, sorry, I'm getting logged in. My computer, I think my computer's fucked. My first Eric show that I ever went to with my little brother was in Madison at the Alliant Energy Center, and my little brother was like 17 or 18. And this dude behind us kept pushing and spilling beers on my brother. My brother was like right next to me. My brother's like, "Hey man, this dude keeps pushing me." And I turned around and I told the dude, I was like, "Okay, last warning." I was like, "I'm gonna beat your ass if you don't, quit spilling on my little brother."
Yeah, dude.
About 5 minutes later, he comes back with more beer, spills on my brother again. I turned around and I headbutted him in the nose. And I'm a pretty tall dude, but he was taller than me.
Mm-hmm.
And I hit him square in the nose. Security didn't see it, but they saw him throw his beer down and cock back and try to swing at me. Well, of course, I ducked it, and they hauled him out. And then his friend tried to come after me, and security grabbed him. So two dudes got the, and I just waved at him and blew him a kiss, and didn't make the situation any better. But whatever, live and learn.
Dude, I'm gonna piggyback off that for a second. And so we were at I don't know if this might have been a show you were at too. But was Blitzwin? Which was the one with Brantley? It was Blackberry Smoke and Brantley.
That was blood, sweat, and beers.
So it was Hoffman Estates. And we were there, and it was right before Blitzwin and Beers went on. My buddy Hager was gonna go, hey man, or was gonna go get cold beers. It took him forever to come back, and finally we look and see him coming through the crowd with a couple of beers. The next thing, you don't see the beers anymore. You see the beers gone, and you see some people kind of spinning around and fighting. And the next thing we know, Hager's coming back about another 20 minutes later with a church shirt on, and like had scratch marks on his neck. I was like, dude, what the hell happened? He goes, well, I was trying to get back with these beers, and these guys try to pick a fight with me. So I'm knocking them out. They end up getting kicked out, and I got a free air church shirt. It's like, all right, dude. So like we went to a fight and a church concert broke out. We were saying that for a little bit. Always they had that shirt for the longest time where X amount of shows, so many fights, and because the fights were breaking out left and right. I don't know if we saw many fights during Double Down Tour. I think there was that one girl fight, but that was about it.
Boston, there was a bad one that they got Taylor involved.
You boys here?
Yeah.
Here.
I'm trying to see. I ain't got anybody on the screen except Thomas.
No, we all see you and hear you. So I mean,
I'm sure you're fine looking at my beautiful face.
Oh shit!
Oh, he gone.
Damn, I made him lose it on that one.
You made him a little premature there.
There we go. Now I see everybody.
So we were just talking about fights in the pit. John shared one. I shared one from Blood, Sweat, and Beers tour. Did you have anything, Johnson? Any good fights you saw or heard of?
Good fights I've been in, or good fights I've diffused, or I mean,
You've been part of a lot of pit fights, huh?
a good one was Denver. There's a guy like coming up, from our right hand side out on Double Down Tour, out from underneath the stage, and he was behind us, and I think he was like Joanna's, like one of her guests, like he had a guest pass.
Oh.
So he was behind us, and like he kept trying to push up, and we weren't letting him. So he eventually just left, and we got in his face, and he finally left. So then he like kind of tried coming up across the front, and we stopped him, pushed him back, and then he waited a few minutes again, and about the time he got to what is the corner right there between Eric and Driver, that little inside corner.
Yeah.
Right as he got to there, I had both of my hands in his chest with two fists full of shirt and lifted him up off of his feet and pushed him all the way back to the catwalk, slammed him against the catwalk. And that was the end of that. And the security people said thanks and whatever. They don't want any trouble. They just want to get out of there and not get in a fight. So
Yeah.
But that was a good one. For the most part, everybody's pretty good. I mean, there aren't really too many fights that I've ran into at EC shows. Mostly just people pushing people around.
Yeah. Actually, Tupelo, I wasn't there, but my friend was there for, I think it was Aldine, and somebody legit got stabbed in the pit over a guitar pick. Like, straight up stuck.
Whew.
Huh. Yeah, I never heard of any. That's crazy, man. I never heard anything like that. I'd be like, nope.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine that.
So
I can back off of Johnson's. We were in Birmingham on the Double Down Tour, and this guy kept trying to push up past me and Adam Richardson, and then finally we got in his face, and then Johnson noticed it. And once Johnson came over, that was pretty much the end of it. The guy wanted to back away then.
Yeah, I mean, I like to stick my nose in business that's not mine all the time. I don't know why. There was a good one too. I can't remember where we were, but Taylor was standing. It was early on in the tour, and Taylor was standing next to Mitch, dead center of the stage, and somebody was behind them, like slamming into them. Where was it? Maybe maybe Greensboro, Greenville, South Carolina. Does that sound right?
Yeah, it couldn't have been Greensboro because I was there with
Okay, it
y'all.
wasn't Greensboro. It was maybe Columbia. No, Greenville, South Carolina. It's Greenville. Um, and people were slamming into uh, Taylor Mitch from behind, and I was holding up Jason because Jason was hammered,
Yeah.
and he was just doing his Jason lean where he leans back when he's half drunk.
That
And
was in Chicago, was it?
uh, no, I don't.
Because Jason in Chicago was my fault.
Was it? I can't remember where it was, but someone was behind Taylor and Mitch, and she just kept slamming into Taylor and slamming into her, and finally, like I saw it going on, and I had to get
Yeah.
I had to get someone else to hold Jason, and then I had to go over and stand behind Taylor and back this girl up off of her, and like she started hitting me in the back. I
Oh,
mean,
geez.
it didn't bother me, but I mean,
Yeah.
anybody else would have felt it.
So this
So
ain't really a horror pit story, but just going off the whole like the fighting thing. This might have been something you guys might have heard of down the road or from past days. But going off fights at shows, especially Eric Church, we were at a show, and it was at a place called City Hall in Nashville. And I don't know why I still remember it, like exactly where it was or like where we were. But Eric had this old bus driver, merch guy. I forgot his name. And dude, I don't know what happened. Him and Q got into something and he started arguing. Q was the guy I used to go to shows with all the time. And he jumped and like launched over the merch table and grabbed Q by the leg and started biting his leg. Dude,
That's a new one on me.
dude got fired the next day. Dude, I'm talking. Ask if you talk to anybody from the church camp, ask them about the old merch guy that got fired for biting somebody in the leg.
biting somebody's leg.
Literally broke skin, dude. When it was selling merch for this guy, broke skin, launched over it. It was the longest running joke inside like the Eric camp because like they fired him that night. And like no, I mean because a bunch of people saw it and everything, but I don't know what started it between those two, but they did not like each other or something. And dude just launched over that table and freaking grabbed it. He had shorts on, grabbed those shorts and just bit his ass.
Hey man, anything's fair in love and war.
Man, dude. Well, you
Yeah.
bit by the merch dog.
I'll bite the shit out of somebody if I have to.
Yeah.
Hey, if it comes down to it, I mean, he's got to. So, other than fighting, what's some other weird shit you guys have seen happen or go on in pits? I mean, it doesn't have to
Well,
necessarily be Eric Church; it could be anywhere, anybody.
well,
So,
it was an Eric show, and I saw it happen at a festival, and God, somewhere in I think it was Columbus, Ohio. People, specifically chicks, pissing. They'll just squat down and piss right in the floor.
oh yeah,
I mean, I've done it too myself. In Louisville, there was an incident where I may or may not have decided to use the floor as my personal bathroom, but you know,
hey, I mean, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, talking about, I mean, using your personal bathrooms at places. I would be straight up honest. I mean, I wasn't in the pit, but it was a pit like experience. It was Country Thunder. We're in the lawn, and US 99 gave a shit ton of tickets away for the Thursday night. Was it used to be their free night. I don't know if you used to go, John, back in the day, but like Thursday,
I went a few times.
yeah, Thursday was always like country or US 99's free night. They gave away a shit ton of tickets. Keith Urban played. They packed way too many people in here. You couldn't get to a bathroom at all. I had a fucking pee. So I looked down and I found somebody's old beer bottle. It was like the plastic with the tops on it. I was like, told Jillian, I'm like, stand in front of me. I pissed in that beer bottle right there and ditched it. I'm like, sorry. I'm not
Yeah,
going to go back, but I got to go.
I was with Derek. Who was I with? Derek, Rosie, Staples. Maybe not Rosie. Staples for sure. Jess. We were at Luke Combs in Oxford, Ohio, where Miami University's at.
Mm-hmm.
We were at this place called Brick Street Tavern, and we got Staples so drunk that he left and went to Buffalo Wild Wings. Like he was so drunk he didn't know how to get back to us, so he just left. But these girls were so drunk in front of us that was it Brick Street? I think it was
Yeah,
Brick.
it was Brick Street because that was the night that Staples got lost.
Was
Yeah,
that the night he was on the trash cans or whatever?
uh,
Yes.
yeah. So me and Frazy are there, and we're just watching the show. And there's girls pissing in front of us, like on the ground, like popping a squat, pissing. So like one girl went, and then like she got done, and the second girl went, and by the time the second girl went, everyone realized what was happening. Mandy Javins was there too. That's who was there. Maybe it wasn't Brick Street. Maybe it was Columbus, Ohio. But regardless, the third girl went, she popped a squat to piss. She pulls her pants down around her ankles, underwear around her ankles, and about the time she's pissing, we get the security guard's attention, and the security guards grab her by her arm, and two of them have her, one by each arm. And she goes off, and she's fucking frog hopping, trying to fucking get her pants to come up as she's getting pulled away.
Oh, that's golden. That is golden.
Like literally, like pants around her ankles, like trying to reach as the security guys have her arms, trying to reach down and get her underwear to at least pull her underwear up as she's frog hopping away as they're pulling her. It was so great. That was the funniest thing we've ever seen. It was so good.
I mean, I understand when you gotta go to the bathroom, you gotta go, but man, that's just. I mean,
I don't know if Thomas has any of these stories because all of his girls wear diapers.
oh,
I'm not going to bring too much detail into this one, but it was Hold My Own tour in Birmingham, and I was in the choir loft at this show. And I went with one of my best friends and my ex-girlfriend, and I was all into the show. I don't remember what song was playing at the time, but my buddy taps me on the shoulder and does this number to turn around. And just to leave all of the detail out of this, I turn around and there's a guy with his hand up his girlfriend's dress, and so somebody's basically just all but getting it on at a church show.
Had the bowling ball grip, man.
well, dude. Going we'll piggyback off that, but we were talking about on the show, John, the Alliant show or Energy Show in Madison. Let's Win Beer Store. I said I got the last seat all the way up top, and I said, "Oh, there's some wild shit." What I didn't say is when I was up there, I was watching, and I look over, and just this girl that's sitting on dude's lap, just bouncing up and down. I'm like, I've never seen that at a church show before in my life. I said, that is definitely new. And I was way far from the stage, as far as I could get, and they were just going to town. I'm like, don't even care.
Nope.
I got a pretty good story. I was at it was after Holding My Own tour when he did the extended leg.
Yeah.
We were at Orange Beach, and we were up in
You
the pit.
wrote Chief in the Sand? Yeah.
We were up in the pit somewhere, and we turned around, and there's this guy laying in the pit, passed out on his back, and he's got posters covering him, like his whole body as a blanket.
Someone has pictures of that. I think I've seen pictures of that somewhere.
Yeah, Thomas, what was that guy's name?
His name was Thomas Dunham, if I'm not mistaken.
That's a true story. Me and Derek were there with Joel and Dion, and we turned around and we're like, "Oh, look at that poor guy! Like he's just passed out. Like he's drunker than shit, passed out." It ended up being this dumbass Dunham.
Look, in my defense, I was trying to bring a bottle of Jack to the pit line so I could just sip on it. And they had like the security check before you got to the pit line at that show, and they wouldn't let me bring it in, and I wasn't walking all the way back to the vehicle, so I bubbled that motherfucker.
Dude, this guy literally was passed out, and he had 6 of those fish posters covering him like it was a blanket. It was so funny.
Oh my God. It's hilarious.
It was so good.
I don't think I've ever fallen asleep like. I mean, I've fallen asleep like in like where I'm waiting for like the pit, like if I'm like in the pit line. I think I've fallen asleep before, like just like that, taking a nap. But like I was at Pearl Jam The first night they played Wrigley Field, the first time they ever played Wrigley Field, I was waiting for this show for like ever, and freaking they had bad weather, and it was like a 3 hour rain delay. And I remember Eddie Vedder when they finally came back out like 1 a.m. Eddie Vedder, I'm doing like an acoustic, like a 4 or 5 song acoustic thing. I hadn't fallen asleep. Like second song in, just passed out. I worked all day. I was tired, just passed out. And the next thing I know, he started playing "Mother" by Pink Floyd. And I was like raised up like from the dead. I was like, "Oh hey, all right, I'll listen to this song." I think that's the only time I've ever really fallen asleep at a show. I wasn't even drunk. I was just tired as hell.
I'll tell you where I wanted to sleep was at church at Nissan Stadium. I wanted to pass out. I was over it.
Yeah,
Not me. A long time, man.
we were up all night.
I was over it. We were about 5 songs into that show, and I was like, "This can end right now, and I'd be perfectly happy."
Don, you did Nissan, didn't you, or no?
I think
No.
I think I looked at Strawberry at least 10 times, and I said, "Can this be over?"
Oh, the show, or
Yeah, the show.
Yeah, that was me during Atlanta, man. Like I was sitting on my ass. I mean, I had been literally all over the country that weekend, and by the 2/3 of the way through that show, I was like, okay, I am done. I need a nap. Taylor and Mitch and Brad and Aubrey, and I think maybe Nina and Jason, or they weren't there. Somebody else all went to cookout, and I'm like, I'm just gonna sleep in the back of the car because no,
Yeah,
I'm done.
Yeah, me and Adam went home.
yeah. It was Brad and Aubrey, Mitch and Taylor and me. We all went out to. We were gonna
Yeah.
go to Del Taco. Del Taco was closed, so we went to Cookout. So that show was bad. Well, we did. I can't remember exactly what you did, John, but I remember we did both shows in DC, and then we drove. Well, I mean, Mitch did all the driving. He wouldn't let me drive, but he did all the driving from DC straight down to Atlanta. We went to the hotel, changed, and then went straight to the venue in Atlanta to watch it. We got there just in time for Luke Combs to go on, and then it was Luke and Eric, and we were out of there.
Yeah, that weekend I went to the first show in DC. I flew to Texas for my buddy's wedding,
Yeah,
and
that's what it
then
was.
flew back the next morning. And Hardy picked me up from the airport.
Think about that schedule: DC for Eric's show, then Texas for a wedding, then back to Atlanta for Eric and Luke's show.
crazy ass shit we do, right?
Right?
That's insane.
So
Yeah, and I was drinking till 5 in the morning. Like I had just gone to sleep, and my phone's ringing. And Taylor's like, "You need to go to the airport now."
you're not gonna make the flight.
Oh yeah.
Craziest thing you guys have ever seen at any kind of show, like in the pit. Two of mine. One just quick, Rage Against the Machine, dude. I probably saw the biggest mosh pit I've ever seen. Probably at least a couple hundred people just like break out, killing the name of hit, and they just all went crazy. And I found myself in the middle. I was like, "Fuck this, I'm out," and I ducked out and got out. Probably late '90s or so, I saw Kid Rock in Peoria Civic Center. And you know how they always put like that, whatever that is, over the ice to protect the ice or whatever at concerts?
Yeah.
Well, it was at whatever, Bradley University or whatever college campus is down there in Peoria. These kids, they were so damn drunk, they started ripping that up. And they pulled them up and they were started putting girls on top of them half naked. And they're crowd surfing these boards out. Well, then they decided they're going to start a big mosh pit right on the middle of the ice. Well, the ice was not white when it's done because people were falling, hitting their mouth. They're busting out teeth. There's blood on the ice. I'm like, this is insane. Like, I've never seen anything like this mosh pit, like, on the middle of an ice rink. And that's probably, like, the most bizarre, craziest thing I think I've ever seen at a concert. But what about you?
That's crazy.
One of the funniest things I've seen was Orange Beach on that extended leg of Holding My Own, and Chris will know this. The blow up doll.
Oh, the blow up doll.
Yeah. I was like,
Oh my God, the damn blow up doll. Yeah.
I don't know where that came from. All of a sudden, there's a blow up doll and they're dressed like Eric Church.
Yeah, the blow up doll was funny.
What was that?
To the weird ass people of Orange Beach.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that.
I'm sure we probably know, or somebody. It's probably somebody on a Facebook group somewhere that who bought that Blue Eyed Doll.
No, we don't. Well,
We
man,
probably,
I'm,
yeah, you probably know who it is, just
yeah,
not going to claim who it was.
they're
I don't think
probably they're probably in the holding our own group.
I don't know, man. There's some other wild ones out there too, but
Yeah, I
all
don't
right.
think.
I saw
Go
two
ahead.
dudes at a Machine Head show, and they're famous for they're doing a circle pit,
Yeah,
and dude was just in the pit going around, and a dude like stepped out in front of him, and head to head, both of them like out on the ground. That was probably like, I mean, you could see it happening. Like we were standing back, like kind of up, and you could see this dude. Like you could tell he was trying to like get out and get into it. And
yeah.
like when he jumped out, some dude like just, and both of them were sprawled out on the floor. I'm like, man, I'm like, that's why I don't do mosh pits.
I had a concussion at a concert once. It was a local band. It was Lucky Boys Confusion in Chicago, House of Blues. Crowd surfing. I got dropped in my head. It's like, yep, that's not gonna happen again. I think it was the last time I ever crowd surfed.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw
no.
a. Go ahead.
Oh, there's no way you'll ever get me doing that.
Did you ever?
One time, I
Yeah.
was a lot skinnier.
Thomas, what about you? You ever do any crowd surfing?
Hell no, my fat ass ain't done no crowd.
All right, John, what were you gonna say?
I was at what show was it? Maybe it was like Corn and Disturbed or something way back in the day, and I remember seeing a fight, and we were on the lower, not the lower. The arena had like the whole lower bowl, and then it had it was kind of like Memphis. It had like or was it Memphis, South Haven, where it had kind of like two different bowls, like kind of partially
Yeah.
above the lower bowl, but it wasn't way up like a third level. Um, and there was like these miniature mini levels, and these two guys were fighting, and one of the guys hit the guy. I can't remember exactly. He either punched him or pushed him or something, and the guy literally went over the fucking railing down onto the next level.
Damn.
It was insane. I was like, yeah, and like this is me. Like I'm just like a high school kid, and like these are like real adults, and I'm just like, bro, this is way too much for me. I'm never coming back to this crap. And now I'm the people that's way up in the front, like breaking up fights.
Yeah, right. So have you guys ever seen anything where maybe an artist jumped into the crowd to break up a fight or even be part of a fight in a way, or like maybe somewhere where maybe a fan did something to an artist, like interaction? So my story is I was at it was a summer sanitarium tour, Metallica. I forgot what year
Yeah.
it was. But it was the same year Limp Bizkit, MTV or VH1 used to do this TV show called Icons, where they would have the band would sit front row and they'd have like 10 other bands play their music. So they had Limp Bizkit do Welcome Home Sanitarium on that TV show Icons. So here we are, Summer Sanitarium tour. We're in Chicago. Limp Bizkit's going to play right before Metallica. Their third song in their set, they play Welcome Home Sanitarium. Well, all the Metallica fans went fucking ape shit, dude. They're like, what the fuck are you doing playing a Metallica song before Metallica? I mean, Metallica's gonna play that song. This one guy, dude, fucking took a full lemon. They had these lemonades, front row, hit Fred Durst right in the nuts with it, dude. I'm talking about square up, nailed him right in the nuts, dropped him to his knees. Well, they ended up cutting because then he started saying, fuck Chicago, fuck you guys, like going off on the mic. They ended up cutting his mic. He started going. He grabbed another mic, started going off on Mancow. He used to be an old radio DJ here in Chicago, big famous DJ.
Yeah.
Started going off on Mancow, and then this thing got kicked off stage. We got to wait 2 hours for Metallica to come on. Metallica came on, this and that. Well, Metallica or Mancow got so pissed off with everything that Fred Durst was saying on stage, he opened up a lawsuit, and everybody that had a ticket stub from this concert could get in on the lawsuit, and Limp Bizkit owed you money because they didn't play a full set. They didn't play their full commitment. So I'm getting like a $20 refund from like Limp Bizkit's their own bank, their bank or whatever it is. Like I got a refund from their bank, like made out to me and everything for the show. I'm like, oh, that's fucking fun.
Dude,
And that was
that's
like the wildest thing I've ever had happen. But like, do you guys have anything where there's like artist fan interaction like that?
no, I've never seen it. I always see artists that, and that always makes me laugh. Is when an artist a fight will be breaking out, and then they'll be threatening like Aaron Lewis will do it or Cody Johnson. They're like, don't make me.
Moore.
Justin Moore does it. Like, don't make me come down there. I'll whip your ass.
Yeah.
Like Justin Moore ain't gonna whip anybody's ass. Now Cody Johnson, he used to ride bulls. I don't want probably most people don't want to mess with that.
Mm.
But little old scrawny Justin Moore, like he's gonna do anything.
You see anything like that?
I'd be willing to bet Nina could beat up Justin Moore.
I'm gonna say I thoroughly enjoy when artists will call people out there in the front row for being on their phone the entire time. Like Kip, I actually saw Kip do it live. He told a girl, he was like, if you're gonna record your the whole show, you might as well just go back to the back, let somebody come up here. It's actually gonna enjoy the show rather than sit Snapchatting or whatever, Instagram live.
Oh, he did. Kip's phenomenal about that. Like when we saw him at when he just did this Bud Light tour, the little things or little whatever, the dive bar tour. That's what I was trying to think of. So I took. I'm sure a couple of you guys met Hanley, the paranormal group with me. I took her, and I don't know if she just wasn't smiling or what, but like halfway through the first song, he bent down, and got right like nose to nose with her because it was such a small place. He's like, "Hey, smile." And then she smiled the rest of the show. But like, he's like, you're not like she was dead front center, and he got like nose to nose, and it was pretty much. I thought it was him saying, if you ain't gonna smile and have fun, then get your ass out of here and get someone else up here, kind of like you're saying. And she did. She enjoyed the rest of the show. Had a great time. But it was just kind of funny, like how that happened. And another guy had a GoPro. I don't know if he was media or what he was. He was recording the entire song, and Kip ended up taking his GoPro out of his hand and putting it in his pocket. Like just straight out of the dude's hand, put it in his pocket, and said, "No, dude, you'll get it back later."
Old Kip tried to grab my phone out of my hand. He'd get yanked down into the crowd.
Thomas, have you seen anything like that between fans and an artist?
No, I haven't seen anything like that personally.
No,
But
I don't think Eric's had anything really.
Young buck here.
The only thing Eric's had was Eric stopped the show when John was up there in Boston, when there was a fight back behind it. Like
they were live on TV or the radio thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When that happened?
Yeah, it was live on radio.
Yeah, so and I know Tim McGraw's been notorious for stopping stuff and actually jumping down, but he had his wedding ring stolen once, and that's another reason why everybody always asks why Eric doesn't wear his wedding ring. And I mean, he says he hates playing guitar with it on anyway, is what I've heard. But I know Tim McGraw, he goes around and shakes a lot of hands and stuff and does that. And somebody reached up and actually ripped his wedding ring off his hand one time. Luckily, they were able to get it back. The person who did it, and they were able to get it back. But I was like, that's fucking wild, dude. People would just straight up do that to somebody. I mean, why would you steal an artist's wedding ring?
People are crazy. Like, have you met any of these Luke Combs fans? They're insane.
Oh dear God! Some of those pages, I'm on some of them just to get a laugh out of it.
I haven't really been on too many Luke Combs pages lately.
Dude, they're crazy.
Yeah, they're ridiculous. They're
Sounds like.
Yeah, they're worse than Eric Church fans. John's just sitting here ready to sing "Long Neck, Ice Cold Beer." That's all I know.
That's all I care about. That's all I need to hear, and then I'm done.
Well, John, before we wrap up, how would you compare like Brothers Osborne fans to like church fans, like and stuff? I mean, are you Brothers Osborne's like Facebook groups or anything?
I'm in one or two of them. I don't really get too much into it. They've got their old ladies that are obsessed, just like anybody. But their fan base as a whole is older than most other bands. Like a lot of the people that I go to shows with are in their late 40s, early 50s. There's a couple that I know that are in their 60s. I've seen them at like 15 shows.
Yeah.
It's a different dynamic. Very rarely will there ever be a fight. Usually it's more of like a two drunk idiots going at it than somebody trying to get to the front or somebody trying to do whatever.
Yeah. Sounds about right for their fan base. Their fan base is a little bit older,
which is nice for me because then you don't got to deal with the nonsense of having some idiot, pushing or whatever, pouring a beer on me in Sacramento. Was it Sacramento that lady poured a beer on me? I think it was her.
Yeah, Sacramento.
Or no, that was New Hampshire. It was New Hampshire.
Was it New Hampshire?
It wasn't Sacramento. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was New Hampshire.
Yeah, that's right. You're right.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
went when we used to see Billy Ray Cyrus back in the day. We used to travel around. He had the biggest following of like older fans, like above 60. Like I swear, Thomas would have been like the happiest soul in the world. Like he had the oldest fans I think I've ever seen, and they were all in the front row. It'd be like the silver row.
Yeah, it's
Instead
kind
of
of
the
like
gold, instead of
Right
the
up my
gold ticket,
alley.
it'd be the silver ticket.
that's kind of like Jinx fans. Jinx fans are mostly an older base too.
Yeah.
It's starting to get a
They
lot.
like
Go ahead,
they
John.
like to fight. They like to fight a lot.
Yeah, they do. They're a little bit more rowdy. The first time I used to go see Jinx back when he was playing at bars, and I was always telling Taylor, like, you need to go see him. He's so good. And I remember the first time she went and saw him, she came back and she was like, listen, the next time I go to a Jinx show, he's great. But the next time I go, you have to go. Like, these people are crazy, and they all smell like cigarettes and mothballs.
And once again, you just made Thomas's night.
Oh, it was so good. Oh, Thomas would love it. Just have ladies just breathing on him with their Marlboro breath.
Paul Malls,
Oh, it's
baby, Paul Malls.
disgusting. Paul Malls.
That is hilarious. I haven't really been around too many other fan bases to kind of see the whole big followings they have for different artists. But Lori was saying somebody tried grabbing Tim McGraw's balls, and Faith got in her face. I was at a show and I was wondering that same show the chick grabbed his balls and Faith got in her face.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, I haven't seen anything too crazy like that with artists. The one person a couple years ago with Eric grabbed his leg as he was trying to walk away and wouldn't let go of it. But
Yeah.
that's about it. And we all know Jane. Anytime Eric comes to the front, Jane likes to hug him, and she almost pulls him into the crowd every time.
Damn near. I mean, it's an innocent pool, but
Yeah, she doesn't do it on purpose. She always gets her hug from Eric.
well, guys, I definitely enjoy you guys hanging out. We ran over like always. I figured we would, but my 4 a.m. alarm comes really quick. So
Yeah,
I gotta wrap up tonight. But thank you guys for joining me and thanks for sharing the stories. I mean, we could stay here for an hour and share a shit ton more. So
yeah. Well, we need to plan on. I can get around and go wherever. So anytime John's up in Milwaukee or
yeah,
up in Madison, I can make a plan to get up there, and we'll come down and all three of us just tell stories in the studio.
I'd love to do that, man. Have you guys over and we just sit down here and I can get you guys some whiskey. I could get some other provisionals and have some fun.
So we could do that.
So
All
Be
right,
there for
boys.
that
It's
one.
been good. It's been good talking to you and seeing your faces.
Yeah.
You guys be safe. Johnson, be safe on the road. Thomas, man, enjoy the grannies. And John, holler, man. Next time you're around Pleasant Prairie or whatever, I'll come on and watch the game, dude. I'd love to see you play sometime.
All right, man. We'll do.
All right, guys.
Y'all later.
Talk to y'all later. Love you.
I love you guys too. All right, guys. What another fun after show. I love doing these, and I love doing like the panel after shows because I can get a couple of my buddies together. We'll throw up a topic and we'll just talk about some crazy stories. So we threw some pit stories in there. I don't know what's going to be next week. So next week's going to be a good one. So we have Heather coming on, Heather Melton. So definitely want to follow up with her and see what she's up to now these days. A few years after Route 91 and everything else. And so it's going to be a really good show next week. And then I'm putting together my last 5 episodes of season 2. Some really good ones. That'll be announcing soon coming up. But a couple that I can give away. RJ Smith, original choir member. He's going to be on with me, chatting up. And we're going to be sharing some cool stories on that one. And then we're going to wrap up. I was going to wait and surprise everybody, but I'll say it now. We're going to wrap up season 2 with my wife. So she's going to come on the day before our 9-year anniversary on my 50th episode. So in about 5 more episodes. And we're going to talk. It's going to be cool. We're going to share some stories that she has about Eric Church and following Eric behind me and everything else. And then some really cool stuff she's done in the nursing world. I'm pretty proud of some stuff she's done and accomplished. I definitely think she has some bragging rights over, and she needs to brag about it. So she's always been a quiet person, but she's been in a couple magazines and a couple of different things for something she created, and it's really cool. So cannot wait to have her on and wrap up my second season. So I'm currently booking for the third season. Invites have been going out, and I am kind of doing a no hold barred thing. I'm just kind of throwing some stuff out there and seeing who I can get. Messaging people that I never ever thought I would get to interview or talk to in my life. I'm just going to throw it out there and see if they respond, or see if their management responds, and see how far I can get with it. So you never know who you can see on this show. I'm definitely anybody and anyone that I've ever enjoyed listening to or talked to or had some kind of story or some kind of relationship with. I want them on this show and bring them on and kind of share their story and talk to them. So, but thank you guys once again for everybody in this group for sticking with me and for helping me grow this into what's going to be our third season coming up very soon. So I'm having a great time on this. I hope you guys are having a great time watching this and asking great questions and coming back every week. So I have to get headed into bed. Next week, we are kicking everything off at 7:00 p.m. So everything gets moved up 1 hour starting next week. It's going to be nice being done by 9 for once. All right, guys. See you next week.